Hi, Scorpios, and welcome to your June 2022 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your month ahead. I hope you're all doing really well. I will be delivering to you some intuitive messages as well as a week-to-week tarot forecast and an extended reading, which will be linked below on Patreon. So, yes, let's dive straight in to some beautiful, beautiful Scorpio energy and messages. Okay, Scorpios. Yeah, it's just a totally different world, okay? It's a totally different world with a totally different kind of subset of considerations that you're in. It's not really like anything you've ever known before, okay? So that's just good to know moving into June that maybe the previous ways that you've worked, the previous regimes of your life are not going to really be applicable now. So there's a different way of just existing, and there's a more prosperous and abundant situation that is definitely here for most of you. But for some of you, there's a little bit of a battle as well. It kind of just depends on where you're at karmically as a Scorpio, as this sign typically represents extremes. So you can see like Scorpios on like one end of the spectrum and then some on the other. But regardless of what end of the spectrum you're on as a Scorpio, it's just good to know that you probably need to form some type of new muscle memory here, or you need to try to do things a little bit differently. Again, it's really depending. How did you do like February to April of 2022? Were you able to get some of that gunk out, some of that energetic dullness, some of those things that you don't need anymore? Has that been successful? Have you kind of like relapsed into consuming that which is not good for you? It depends on which side of that you're on, but if you have like had any type of like relapse, or you're consuming a lot of like unhealthy food, or you're not really at your best here, it's indicative of a major kind of like 180 experience. Okay, like it could be a little bit stormy, or you could just see that you need to just put some stuff away, like and it has to happen here or even at like the end of May. And then if you're a Scorpio who's like doing well, or you've been keeping consistent, or you've been getting healthier and healthier over the last like 6 months, it's a totally new level of abundance and ease. Okay. Nonetheless, there could be like ghosts of the past in June leading up to Cancer season. There could be very vivid flashbacks still, which is kind of strange considering that we have like Jupiter in Aries now. It's like out of Pisces, but it's still lingering. And maybe it's the Cancer energy oncoming that is leading you to be like past oriented. I hope that you're able to detach from that as much as you can, because this is not a period of time that is about the past. This is not a period of time meant to be spent in sentimentality and other worlds or past or future tripping. It really is a present oriented time, as most times are. But intuitively, Scorpios, I feel like you are like good, and there's not that much to worry about. There's not that much problems that I would point out. It's mainly like becoming about responsibility. Okay, responsibility is a big key word for you, to your cause, to your purpose, and to your greater legacy. Okay, so short-term goals, fads, stuff like that is unfortunate now. And I do want to see Scorpios really thinking about the big stuff in June, if you have like the health and well-being to do it. I've talked for so many of the other signs and generally on my channel about how July of 2022 and January of 2023 are presenting major decision points for our arc as people. And, it's good to let June and then December, right, be really solid and wholesome, so that we're moving into those decision-making times with as much safety and sobriety as we can summon. Nonetheless, you have like the Tower here and the Magician, so it's kind of like, can we really get long-term focused? Is it even possible? I think so. I think for many Scorpios it is. But you can kind of start to get that feeling now where it's like, am I ever going to get it? Am I ever going to let myself leap? Am I ever going to trust in my ability? We do really have to see trust starting to play a bigger role in June of 2022, and challenges as well. Having the two fives, the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, indicates some type of like battle or some type of competition if channeled more healthily. So definitely amping up your athletics, amping up your activities that are physical so that this doesn't just play out in like a battle of the mind or a battle with the self about what to do. Try to channel it more physically. Also, I think because of the general context of the other planets, so having like Neptune still in trine to a lot of Scorpios, having Pluto still in sextile, especially if you're a later degree Scorpio closer to the Sagittarius cusp. I mean, that's so protective. That's so like hard to really go wrong, honestly. But you can become your own worst critic, or you can become mired by the long term, or unable to really reach with Jupiter having moved into Aries, and especially if you're an earlier Scorpio, in this case, like quincunxing you, Jupiter and Mars, it can be like, how on earth can I juggle the short term and the long term focus? It almost feels like we have to choose one or the other, and in which case I would hope you choose the long term. Also, you could see like anything that you don't need or anything that is pulling you away from the important stuff could get like removed during this month with the purification of the tower, with the stormy energy that might bring up. And basically, it's going to push you, I think, into an innovator's mentality with the magician coming so soon after that, and then into more of a teamwork-oriented environment. So you might be delegating more. You might be having to involve more people in your life and in your process to make things work. So yeah, hyper independence and hyper self-sufficiency is going to be hard. Okay, we are all evolving more into whether or not one likes this or not, more of a collectivist, community-based teamwork environment instead of a super self-oriented place. So the super self-oriented Scorpio can really start to see new struggles, but there are a lot of creative ways that you can honor this new energy coming in. Like if you love your independence and if you love your selfhood, there are plenty of new ways that you can innovate for that to work by involving more people, or by, taking on hobbies or other things in your life that have more teamwork and more people, because you need like friendships. I feel like this is a time, Scorpio, where like having good friendships, platonic friendships, is like the difference between majorly difficult and majorly beautiful experiences. Also, I wouldn't recommend romance. I wouldn't recommend anything too deep and unknown during June. Okay, we need more surface level, safe things. All right. You know, it looks like a time where we really have to conquer our own self inhibition or our own self restraint. Not self restraint, but like anything that we're doing or taking part in by our own will that is not helping us in the long term has to really be cleaned out during this time, or reforged, or we have to become healthy enough to do that. So that's what a lot of the month is about. It's about redrawing boundaries, okay, reasserting parameters. You're a genius, I think, right now for creating boundaries, for creating parameters, and for instituting a much better lifestyle for yourself. But yeah, let's talk about your week-to-week Scorpio. Week number 1, the Tower, rooted down by the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so some of you have to do quite a bit less. Some of you have to cut back. Some of you are overworking. Workaholic signature there. And also the difficulties or the storms that come as a result of workaholism. It's like because we work so many hours at the office, something else in our life falls through because we're not able to upkeep it properly. So we think like, oh, if I just work and work and work, I'm going to have a better life. Well, not if you can't focus on the other important aspects. The first week will show a falling through, or some type of, just some type of even fear or just concern because you're putting too much into something. So Scorpios across the board I've been seeing are like, oh my gosh, they're just injecting so much energy and essence into something that's not necessarily wholesome. So try to redo that and give yourself the power and the trust and the self-love to not bleed yourself dry, or to not take so much from yourself. So you can work less now, you can receive more, you can overcome this feeling of being drained. It's like the energy of being drained there in the first week of June. So some of you need a vacation, some of you need, but it's not just a vacation, it's making your environment and your regimen in your life fixed, or healing that, or ensuring that you're not in that hyper productive state just, 2 weeks from now after the vacation. So that's important here. Week number 2, the 5 of Swords, rooted down by the 10 of Pentacles. Your family could be calling on you. Yeah, this entire summer, actually, Scorpios, you might be called on by your family, or you might be having to help them set boundaries in their own lives, or you might be having to help them to decide what to have and what not to have. 10 of Pentacles is about inheritances, heritage, legacy, and family property or family owned assets. So matters of that could come up. And try to just be somewhat detached with it. The 5 of Swords, like, people can start to get really crazy, or you can see even like sibling rivalry or some type of battle over family assets or family owned things. So that's possible, but if it's channeling at a higher level, you might just be having to like sort through your legacy, or sort through even like matters of reputation, or something relating to the family name or the family business or something there. So there could be new developments with the family, but I don't think that it's a bad thing. It's not like negative. It's just something that you have to sort through, or it's something that you want to get a resolution on now, in an above board way. Because sometimes with the 5 of Swords, there can be like I just want to finish this quickly. I just want to get this over with, and you can make mistakes, or you can make errors by being too fast, or by being not super diligent. So remember to be diligent, and you will overcome these issues of being too drained, or being having to overuse your energy by, in a weird way, fixing some of these like family or legacy focused qualms. All right, week number 3, you've got the 5 of Wands rooted down by the Magician. I'm seeing that your body is transforming in the 3rd week, and I'm seeing that you need to embrace some type of competitive sporting, or again, because you're traditionally a Mars-ruled sign, meaning that you have a lot of excess energy, and there can be like aggression or temper if it's not channeled. So you want to really work on channeling your energy this month, and you want to find new healthy ways that are not risky at all, or don't have like that much on the line. So when we're, I don't know, running a marathon, as nice as it is to come in first place, it doesn't really matter if you don't. Okay. However, when we're like working with the family estate, or when we're working with the family business or something, errors made there can be much more consequential. So it's better to channel this energy in fun and game than it is to channel it in things that are super consequential. Also, you could see yourself becoming like the leader of some type of sporting group, or you could see yourself becoming more influential in areas of entertainment, or of areas that are not so consequential. So that's an interesting little hybrid situation where you start to get like maybe status or influence in things which aren't like seen as that consequential, but it like really helps you in a weird way, or it's fun. It's so like maybe becoming, I don't know, the lead story writer of some kind of fiction writers group or something, or becoming like the lead coach of like marathon runners, or some kind of cool new grouping project. Week number 4, you have the Hanged Man rooted down by the 3 of Pentacles. So yes, and now I think you've done it. Okay, at the 4th week of June, I actually kind of like the Hanged Man coming in for you guys. You know why I like it? Because it's like still. Scorpio has not been able to be still very well for quite a while. It's been like frantic, or it's been frenetic, or it's been like buzzing around. And while the Hanged Man can indicate that you have that too mind-focused energy, like the energy is swelling around the head, and we do need to work on that, I think that the stillness here is good. So you could also find yourself kind of like, well, I can't really do anything differently, or I'm kind of stuck in this for now, which might also be good. And it's so great to just delegate things. With 3 of Pentacles rooting down the Hanged Man, to me that looks like you being still and other people kind of working things out, which I recommend for most Scorpios. It's better not to have that much of your energy deciding things. So like you're not like the liable person, or you're not like taking on more liability than you should. Take a look at that too. It's not about skirting or avoiding liability where you've earned it, but be careful about convincing somebody to totally change their life, or taking control of a business without understanding how it works and assuming so much liability for like other people's lives. Like that's something that you really want to move away from now and let other people make their own choices or let other people be liable for themselves. It's a much better place for Scorpio to be now. And also like a beginning to enjoy stillness, like and silence. So I've seen Scorpios also really needing to be distracted or needing to like always have background noise going or needing to always be like churning something over in the mind. Can you start to have a new culture of silence, or can you start to have a new calmness come in now? I think that that would be wonderful. And maybe even reaffirming that in other areas in your life, like making that a project culture. Like if you own a business or if you're like working with a team, like can we have a culture of like abundance through stillness, or can we make this a new like company culture about like just like calming down, okay, and getting a bit less inflated and a bit less hyper productive. And yes, through that, slowly having a much more quality experience and growing more, okay? So anyway, Scorpios, that's what I'm feeling for you for June. Let's talk in your extended reading a little bit more about contributing to more growth and how growing has changed for you and the psychological or mentality shifts that you can implement to achieve more growth now as things have really changed. So come check that out, Scorpios. I'll link it below and in the center of your screen now. The Patreon page is a great value. I hope you will come and check it out. And let's do that extended reading now. Much love. Have a great month, Scorpios. Bye.